All right. So this is the old form for 2550M. Well, I call it the old form because we make use of the revised form now, which is available through the EBIR forms software of the BIR. So it's basically the same, only that it's now you could instead of you manually filling up the form, you have to use the EBIR forms. All right, so it's a little bit quite complex, but you notice there, you have there at the upper section the VAT sales receipt or VAT taxable sales receipts. Okay, so that's where you see output tax or also output VAT, and at the lower portion you will see purchases. Okay, so you have their input taxes. Under the EBIR forms, this will be computed automatically as long as you have your sales and receipts as well as your purchases information ready to be inputted into the software. Now, that will be covered in another course, so don't worry. But at least you get an idea of how it might seem complex to compute for the VAT. But let's simplify through an exercise. So here now is another example. Dr. A, so he's a professional now, is a VAT registered professional. For the month of June 2019, his total cash receipts based on the official receipts he issued is 280,000 pesos. And he also paid his VAT registered suppliers 56,000 during the month. So similar to our discussions a while ago, here are the questions for you guys. How much should he pay as VAT? When should he pay his net VAT? And what form should he use? Let me just quickly go over the questions. So how much should he pay as output VAT? That's the question for the first item there, or that's the idea behind the first bullet point. So how much is his output VAT? And this would be based on his gross receipts for the month of June, which is 280,000. The second question asks his net VAT. Sorry, the first question asks for the net VAT payment. So you need to compute for the output VAT as well as the input VAT and get the net VAT payable. Okay, so it's a little bit complex now, but don't worry, it will be quite easy when you see the computations later on. But I want you to try computing it. All right. So the second question asks when, so it's quite easy. And what form? Of course, if you've been listening and taking down notes a while ago, you'll be able to easily answer that. So I'll give you a few minutes to answer these questions. All right. I hope you tried answering these questions, VAT-related questions. And let's look at the answers quickly before we show the computations. So I hope you were able to get 24,000 pesos as his net VAT payable. And it's so easy to know when to pay because it's 20 days after the end of the month. So it's July 20. And what form should he use? It's obviously 2550M. So let me show you how the net VAT payable was computed. So first step, compute for the output VAT. So that's 280,000. Oh, notice this one. This is where I probably think you get most of your answers wrong. It's because the 280,000 pesos is the gross amount Dr. A collected from his clients, which is already inclusive of the 12%. So in order to remove or to get the tax base, you simply have to divide 280,000 by 112% or 1.12. So you will get there 280,000 divided by 1.12%, and you will get an amount there. And that is basically the 100%, which is the basis of the VAT. And you multiply that by 12% in order to get your VAT payable, or your output VAT rather. All right? So you have to remember this one. When you talk about sales or sales, that usually is exclusive of VAT because you have to separate the account for the VAT component. But if you talk about cash receipts and you're a VAT registered taxpayer, it means that is already inclusive of the 12% VAT. To illustrate or to simplify this illustration, think about this. If you have a product that is selling for 100 pesos and you are a VAT registered business, you will not only collect from your client 100 pesos, but you will also collect the 12 peso value added tax, which is 12% of 100. So the total amount that you receive from your customer is 112 pesos. And in order to get back that 100% or the base amount, which you will be multiplying by 12%, you have to divide 112 by 1.12 in order to get 100 pesos. And you simply multiply 100 pesos by 12% to get the 12 peso output VAT. All right, so I know it's a little bit complex right now, but don't worry. If it's quite easy actually when you're already in practice. But that's something that you have to remember. By the way, when you are also pricing your product, it should always be inclusive of VAT.